Paul, well, for Leagues Cup action, coming off of that goal and assist performance, what's the mindset here coming up with Necaxa coming to town on Sunday?
Keep the momentum going. We want to finish top of the group, and obviously going into the next couple games, we want to have some momentum, and we stopped that momentum when we played LAFC, so we're trying to get that going again. And yeah, it's going to be an opportunity for a couple guys, but keep the momentum.
What did you see from Necaxa on Tuesday facing Minnesota?
They look like a good team, pretty physical team. I think the number 10, number 9 up top seem to be a good threat together. A lot of counter-attacking stuff, a lot of crossing from outside the box, so we've been working on our wide defending, and but I think there's areas that we can exploit too, so we're excited.
Just sorry to have a follow-up. You said opportunity for a couple guys there, so depending on if that is you or not, then you've been coming off the bench as a kind of a spark plug, but if starting a match, being able to go from minute 1, what's the different mentality that as opposed to this last game?
I don't think we've. Oops, sorry, there's a ball here. Whatever my job is here, whether it's coming off the bench or starting, I think it does change a little bit depending on the game and who we're playing, and whatever Schmetz gives me this weekend, I'll be ready for. But I think for me, it's just like always having that sustained motivation, depending on if I am starting or if I'm coming on, being ready to go, and having a different story in my head, no matter what it is, to motivate me through that match or through the practice or whatever it is.
When you say story in your head, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you put in your head?
I think, like part of being a professional, sustaining your motivation throughout the season, right? I've had many different setbacks this year and in my career, and whether you're starting or whether you're coming off the bench or whatever the storyline is for the game, people can talk about how we don't necessarily need to win this game, but what's our motivation going in? How are we going to drive ourselves? I think for me, it's always something different every day, whatever it is, whether it's like I'm trying to be the best version of myself that day, or if it's something smaller to keep me going, like Freddie Juarez gave me a little jab before the training started just to get me fueled up for the training session.
What did he say?
Well, I mean, in the past, sometimes he'll just give me he'll talk a little smack before this training session, and that helps me get through, or, tells me I can't do something, and that just pushes me a little harder. So things like that.
And it seems like, on that level, you've been able to change a little bit of the narrative about yourself, as far as not just being some kind of spark plug or or underdog. Like maybe you're kind of putting yourself into being more consistent. Do you feel that you've maybe changed the narrative about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. I think the narrative for myself has always stayed the same, but I think people are starting to see a different side of me a little bit, and as I've gotten more time and gotten a little more minutes under my belt, I think I've been able to show some of my other qualities. But I think my job here is just making it really hard for Schmetzer to keep me off the field, and hopefully I can keep doing that and making his job hard. And I think that's the reason our team's doing well right now, is a lot of guys are doing that. We have at least 16, 17 guys. I mean, honestly, the whole roster who are like competing every day and could be starters at any given time, which I think is the sign of a really good team.
Have you had any conversations with Josh since he's been over with the Olympics?
I haven't. I think the time zone's a little different. I watched the highlights of their match this morning, so I'm bummed about that. But selfishly, we're excited to have him back. So, but yeah, I'm really excited for him. I'm really jealous because I would love to be doing something like that. And but yeah, happy for him and glad to have him back.
Yeah, and he was able to get minutes in the past 2 matches. It's not much, but you keep an eye on him when he did check us.
For sure, yeah. We all watched his minutes, and we were talking about it this morning at breakfast, and it's exciting. I mean, first time to ever play in the Olympics is pretty cool, and hopefully we can have more coming through the ranks in the next couple of years, but that's a big milestone.
What does it mean to be able to compete against a League MX team beginning this Sunday?
I'm really excited. It's the first League MX team I've competed against, so I'm really looking forward to that. I think, U.S. and Mexico have always had a big rivalry too, so I think there's always a little bit of that as well, and how we can compete against those teams and how we match up to them is an exciting test for us. So, but I think for us, it's another cup. It's another chance to play more games, and we're still in competition for all 3 trophies. So things are looking good and exciting.
Yeah, no respect. Well, it doesn't seem like it's been a long ride to get here
Yeah.
for you guys.
Yeah. We've come a long way this season so far, and still a lot left on the table. So.